I'm back. Maybe not. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Waiting on two people. Oh. Oh, one of them's the hidden Wintermute with the button.
Yep, I've already clicked mine.
Oh, so no one else is here besides me and Wintermute, I guess.
I think technically we're waiting on Sheer. I do wish I'd tell you who didn't click. So, did everyone get everything they want out of the party sheet?
Oh, I believe so.
Yeah, so we don't need the +3 leather armor. I mean, +3 leather armor would be fine if we weren't already using mithril chain shirts at this point. I don't think we have like +2 or +3 anyway. So then the scimitar, no, the bolstering, no, the bracelet, and a bunch of the other stuff's just jewelry. The gaseous form post genocide. Hey, maybe we could come up with some crazy use for that, but not sure it's worth hanging on to first. Not one of things like teleports to solve a lot of stuff. Hold person is just terrible as a scroll. The wand of the arrow slain is just none of us are fighting shooting arrows, and it's worth a lot of money. And then the eagle splendor wand just is not really of much use since I already have a belt. No one else cares about the charisma, except maybe the rock.
Maybe the rock. He's pretty adorable.
You're so vain.
You probably think this rock is about you.
Exactly.
Okay.
The bird's got a higher charisma than I do.
And let's sell everything.
I feel bad about throwing away all the GM gifts, though. It's like having Christmas and asking for receipts.
In all fairness,
oh, thanks. You got the receipt?
Exactly what they expect, and that's why there's a bunch of random jewelry and shit thrown in and stuff.
True.
So, I mean, if anything, it was really annoying. Remember back, you were here for part of the Dreamlands, at least, though you missed a lot. Like, we'd get all these items that no one in the party had any use for. And they're like, don't worry, in the Dreamlands, you'll get this crazy awesome stuff, and then there'll be these crazy awesome encounters. And then we're like, well, we have the crazy awesome encounters, but we don't have the crazy awesome stuff.
That was 16 grand worth? I wish this was real life.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jeez.
But here's the sad thing. You know how much, after splitting that, and with some gold I already had, right? I have about 5,500 gold. To increase my armor or shield up a notch is going to cost 7,000 gold. To increase my ring of protection or the amulet of natural armor is 10,000 gold.
Maybe you should talk to Poppy, the loan shark.
No, I'm not.
Don't people still owe me money?
I don't. My point is that things get really expensive at higher levels. So
True.
Poppy's got
okay,
more than double.
Yeah.
Poppy, I imagine will try to spend it soon. So unless anyone objects, we'll take all their stuff in the safe because it's like ill-begotten gains from an evil demon and stuff, right? They don't need it to survive, and they were fine working for the demon. Then we'll leave them the leather tannery, and if they want to try to, keep going, they can. They presumably still have customer lists, and they still have all the necessary ingredients and stuff. So we'll give them a chance to get back on their feet, probably threaten them and say, but don't do something to make us come back here because you don't want us coming back here.
Aside from the slavery.
Technically, they're not involved in any slavery here, as far as we can tell, right?
Correct. Okay. Yes. Auburn. The real owner of the tannery is Salir, and Auburn will take over running it until they can locate truly what happened to Salir, and if he's alive or dead, they'll take it from there.
Wait, so locate Salir? When's the last time anyone's seen Salir?
Um, yeah, it's been a little while because Auburn was under the impression that Salir had truly left Bazaar in charge. And
I'm sorry if I gave a shit more of a shit around this place or hadn't any reason to really care about Salir. I might suggest trying to find him, but
yeah, not your job, Mon.
the world isn't gonna fix itself.
You can't do everything, Eric.
We're not the Avengers.
Okay, so
I don't know. We have an angry, uncontrollable rage monster. We have like a literal Hawkeye, right?
True.
We have like a guy who deals with mechanical, devices and hurls bombs like Iron Man, right? I'm apparently like Captain America or something, and then you're kind of like, this weird creature who doesn't understand, human civilization customs, right? Is like the druid and can call down
Pretty much.
lightning. You're Thor, so we have Thor, the Hulk, Hawkeye, King Captain America, and Iron Man, right? We're only missing Black Widow.
We've made lots of widows, though.
Yeah, there you go. See, I'll just summon a Black Widow. How about that? Then we have the whole Avengers cast.
There we go.
that'll
At
work.
least my Hawkeye is useful.
Oh,
No spoilers, but was Hawkeye in the Avengers?
no, he was not in 3 at all.
Okay.
And I'll even tell you this because it's not any kind of spoiler that matters whatsoever. You find out early in the film that he and Ant-Man are basically under house arrest right now. They took a deal so they could see their families, and they're not involved in the events of the film at all.
Wow, what a cop out.
So yeah,
Okay, so are you willing to? Well, y'all need to take David back to Princess Janyo.
hmm
And, she is extremely excited that you're returning him alive. And, the typical drama of seeing a loved one returned and yada, yada, yada.
Wait, if loved one?
Well, you know,
Is there
love,
some like bestiality going on here?
love for her slaves,
Well, a
So
lot
wait,
going on here that I don't want to know about.
yeah, like I didn't realize that. I thought he was like an employee, not a slave. I'm very confused now.
Well, he is a trusted comrade, and she's very happy that he has been returned, and she's like, why don't you all come and dine with us?
So I'm gonna sense note of that to see if she's
And I immediately do not trust the food.
with a 43. How am I feeling about her offer?
Uh,
That
I,
should be a 41. Sorry, technically
I,
some of
you have no reason to doubt her at all. Uh, she's like, come dine with me, and I'll tell you, where the location of Biting Lashes Fortress is.
By the way, those Rocky and Bullwinkle references are barely audible.
Rocky and Bullwinkle references.
I've heard them.
I'm gonna turn them up. Yeah, they were really low. Erica, roll your perform check again.
It would be a
That was
40.
almost a 1.
Do it again.
Thank you, Mr. Know-it-all.
Does this apply to all like the knowledges?
Yes.
And here he is, that master of misinformation, Mr. Know-it-all.
Who told you things?
I gotta bump up the volume on those a bit.
I'm just proud that people actually knew it was Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I did not know that.
No?
I've seen the show though. I have seen parts of the show. It's just been a long time.
I feel like I'm at the tail end of the Rocky and Bullwinkle generation.
Can't remember what year that
Wow.
was.
So
That
the
was
final
80s anyway.
episode, The Adventures of Rocky Bullwinkle, the final episode was 1964.
Damn.
Okay, that's before my time too then.
Way before my time, but like it was still on TV when I was like a child.
The rerun generation.
Yeah, so let me rephrase that. I was on the tail end of the rerun generation for Rocky and
Right.
Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
But she
Damn,
is
it's that old. Wow.
hard to believe.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the movie, I like the movie.
It was cute. So, yeah, she's she's happy. You all did her a great service. You're not feeling threatened. You're not feeling any deception. Just an honest offer of, hey, come eat with me while we talk.
Oh, very well.
If we
Yeah.
must.
Free meal.
Here's the problem. Free meal, I'm okay with. Slave-made meal, not so thrilled with.
Us being the meal, I'm even less okay with. Because gnolls
But
are like default evil, aren't they? Or no? Or just chaotic neutral?
Oh, very much chaotic evil default.
Okay.
Like hated and despised by just about every other race, which is what makes the city so different in the fact that they have gnolls operating openly, and people like put up with it, but probably grinding their teeth, right?
Yeah.
Well, everyone's making money from the slave trade, whether they agree with it or not.
Yep. Everybody agrees with money. It's just
Exactly.
business. Sad but true.
And anyway, they put out a great feast, and there's a lot of people there, including her.
She looks badass.
Yeah, what was it they technically called her? Da, 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 da. Yeah, she's yeah, she's like one of the I guess sergeant of arms for
We met her earlier, yeah, like her
yeah,
bodyguard or something, right?
yeah, she's in charge of safety and security and so forth. But her and Hakor, which is a halfling, and you can tell that he's most likely a sorcerer. But there are two of the people joining you for dinner, and she tells the princess tells you that Biting Lash is his fortress is called the
I
Bloss.
thought it was her.
His fortress.
I thought Biden Lash was female. I thought that was one of the reveals.
Yeah, okay, it could be. um, yeah, you are. She is female, I do believe. Yes, she is female. That her fortress is at a place called the Blossoming Thorn. And, she gives you directions and so forth. And let's see. Um, yeah, she talks about, the fortress has granite walls which rise 30 feet between each floor. There's only um, one entrance on the ground floor, and none of the walls have any outer windows. The second level does have windows that look down onto the courtyard, and they're large enough to let some light in and, fire a crossbow out of. And let me pull up the map on that. And other than that, it doesn't give a whole lot of detail about the fortress itself. But you all have a wonderful dinner.
By the way, as we're sitting here, so when we got here, that key sets, right, didn't seem thrilled with us and like barked out at us. And then the key sets and the Hakur, right, they were following us in the streets.
Yes. And
So,
they followed you right back.
I'd like to do a sense motive. With us succeeding on that, are they feeling less hostile towards us, or do they still like hate our guts, or does everyone hate each other's guts? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to see, like, do they have like any kind of respect now? Are they feeling better about it? Are they feeling less paranoid?
No, they are not feeling better about it. As a matter of fact, you can tell that she's not openly hostile. um, when you run into your enemy at a dinner party and you're polite to one another, but you can still feel the animosity underneath.
Man, what did we do to piss her off? I don't know about you guys, but I have no particular animosity towards her. Do you?
Aside from this being a slave empire, me not wanting anything to do with
Oh, yeah,
it.
but that's my point. Like, yeah, I disliked a lot of them because they're slavers, but I don't have anything in particular against this
Yeah,
particular
nothing
slaver,
personal.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no
We all hate each
personal
other
grudges
still.
here.
Okay. Or they hate us still. Alright.
Okay, I am not gonna mask this map. Okay, so you all have a wonderful dinner, and Princess Jano tells you what she knows about the fortress and so forth, and you all finish your meal.
Okay.
And
Alright, so this is dinner at this point, you said?
yes,
Okay. Just trying to get an eye for the time, because I thought we met with her fairly early in the morning, right? So, I guess we waited around a few hours at some point. So,
yeah, it would have
so
taken you time to tie up the guards and get everything done. So,
did we wait? Tie up the guards? I don't
uh,
assume we tied up the guards.
it took you some time to wrap up at the tannery and so forth. So, uh,
Well,
let's say it's roughly 5 in the afternoon.
okay. So, if I recall correctly, gnolls have dark vision. So, I don't think I really see a point in trying to see biting lash at night, because even if things went into hostilities, which is fairly likely, um, then they just would see better than us, right? So, none of us have dark vision, I believe.
Not I. Unless I change
Yeah.
into an animal that has dark vision, but
Yes, the point is like attacking at night isn't going to help us, and it's not really going to hinder them, right?
right.
So, do you see a better thing to do than just find some place to stay overnight? Because we got here this very morning, didn't we? Via teleport. So maybe find some place on the edge of town and make sure we definitely keep watch overnight.
Yep.
Any
We could do
objections,
that.
Pup?
Not particularly.
Well, does that mean there is an objection? It's just not very particular.
No, I have no objection.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Smart ass.
No, it's a legit question, because you might be saying I'm fine with that, but there's some things I'd rather do differently or tweak at least, right? So you might have been saying you agree with the general idea, but you disagree with some specific elements. So okay, is there anything else around here that we can think of needing to do before we leave?
Not off the top of my head, unless we can change our spells a little bit to give us like night vision or something like
Well,
that. But
I assume we're still at the Hyena Princess to Jano's.
Yes.
Right. So I'm saying we just finished dinner. She's told us where to find Biting Lash and her rough defensive setup. And what is Jano's idea? Are we going? Is it likely we're going to be able to peacefully negotiate, or does she expect we're going to have to fight our way in?
Well, she does everything that she can to encourage you to fight your way in. And, you're with your sense motive role, you know that there is a hidden agenda behind that advice, and she sees this as an opportunity to.
Get us killed.
Uh, it's
Or
not
weaken his
you,
forces.
but hopefully you'll take care of Biting Lash.
So she's actually wants to remove Biting Lash as competition or something.
Oh yes, there is no secret that they are in direct competition with one another, and personally, in public they're friendly, but in private they hate one another.
Yep. Right until somebody gets an advantage over the other person.
Kind of makes me wonder if we should ask if she's willing to compensate us for doing anything in particular, right? Because we might be fine to just go there, get info, and leave. But if she's wanted something particular done, I'll ask her to bodyguards. Because that's a bodyguard. I don't know what the hell Core is. Is Core acting like a bodyguard? Is he like a personal mage? Serves the hyena princess? Like, how does he act during dinner?
He may, by appearances, it looks like he works for the princess, but you're able to determine that his loyalty is pretty much to Kiset.
And what do we make of Kiset then? If we politely ask her, of her assessment of Biting Lasses, because I'm assuming we're talking about this in front of her, right? Because she's at the
Yes.
table in Sosakor. What does she make of what the hyena? Does she have anything to add?
Well, she is much more a military person than the princess, and she's able to tell you that it'll probably be a tough fight. That he does have a small but well trained private army. And, she's like, the way you all took out the guards at the tannery, you shouldn't have any problem. And you can
Given how
detect
much she's gone,
you can detect little sarcasm in it.
does she seem to share the same enthusiasm as the princess for getting rid of Biting Lash?
Yes, she's pretty enthused about it, but you're not sure if it's because she wants the Biting Lash gone, or if there's a possibility that you all will die in the process. But one of those two reasons she's very excited about.
Well, she definitely wants Biting Lash out of the picture. We're just a tool. Whether we kill him or just thin out his forces, it's a win-win for her, because then maybe that tips the balance for her own forces to take over Biting Lash. Pretty hard for her to lose on this one.
Yeah, win-win.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out
It's
the
way too low again.
I know. If I turn it up for that one, then I'll let him suddenly become very loud.
I'm trying to figure out what the actual proper way to phrase this is. So, sorry. I don't know if there's a good way for me to actually do that. Oh well. Okay, so she wants us to kill them, or hoping we get killed, who knows. Okay, so we've spoken to all of them, we know where Biting Lash is, we know the rough layout of her fortress. It's late enough now that it seems... I mean, Well, let's ask them. What does Jano think we should do? What does Kisetz think? Do they think we should wait for the morning to see Biting Lash, or do they think we should go over now?
Well, you know, the element of surprise is always good.
Which one is that from, or both?
That's from Jano. And, you know, Keese's like, well, you know, it'll be a tough fight. You might want to rest up in the morning and go in the morning.
Do I
You know,
have
we
any
have a layout of the fortress. We have like fairly good knowledge because I imagine she's got some spy networks in the town and has a pretty good maybe idea of the fortress defenses, traps, maybe guard rotations, all that good tactical stuff that might maybe help us out. If he has any
Um,
wizards and sorcerers or something.
yeah, other than a rough description, you know, she's had a heck of a time infiltrating spies, and you know, Fazar aside, you know, all slavers seem to be really good at rooting out the spies, and it's actually rather difficult to infiltrate each other's networks at any major level. So, no, they don't have any floor plans other than it's a three-story tall circular building.
Do we have any idea of whose advice may be better? Whether Giano's idea of, go with surprise versus Kizet's idea of, make sure you're better prepared?
One more time with that.
Okay, so Giano's opinion was basically go now, take them by surprise. And Kizet's opinion seemed to be you might as well rest up because it could be rough. Alright? Is that a fair summary?
Correct.
Do we have any sense for who's more realistic in their outlooks?
Uh, well, you
Is one of
know,
them being overeager? Is one of them being too pessimistic?
uh, Harcourt speaks up, and you know he agrees with Kisset that you should rest up and go in the morning.
But do I get the sense that he'd always agree with Kisette no matter what Kisette said?
Um,
He said his loyalty was to her, right?
yes,
So,
you would, you have that notion, and um, you sense that there may be a hidden reason behind it, but it's nothing definite that you can say, hey, you're acting this way, what the hell's up?
So I was thinking about doing scrying too. It's a little complicated.
who would we be using to scry?
Well, we know the person. I don't know if we've actually seen.
Sorry,
Uh,
I meant how are we getting the spell?
oh yeah, I guess I'd have to rest for 8 hours to get the spell.
Do druids even have scry?
Yep. It's in the
Oh,
regular
druid
spell
folder,
list.
Okay. You have a mirror worth 1,000 gold?
Not on me. That would
Alright,
be
well then you can't scry.
pool of water, silver mirror with 1,000 gold. Yeah, we'd have to go shop for it. If it'd be worthwhile or not, I don't know, but
And
Okay.
yeah, you know, you're just there to get information out of Biting Lash overall. You're just trying to find out where Laos went next.
true.
Alright, well I'll thank Kizets and Hakor and give a slight bow to Jano and say, Your Highness, unless there's any pressing concern, it does seem like it may be wiser to make sure we're properly prepared for this.
Yeah, not a problem. And, Jano has been very excited over the return of David, and she's been talkative and animated, and, just maybe even a little overbearing on the good cheer, but, it's all genuine. And, it's she's making a kind of long-winded goodbye, and, I appreciate everything you've done for me, and if you're ever back in town, come see us, blah, 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 blah. And can I
Does she
get...
just seem to be completely insincere?
No, she's very sincere.
Okay.
And, um,
Yeah, she's just really excited that we're gonna possibly weaken or take out the competition.
absolutely. And, she wishes you the best of luck at Biting Lash, and
And if we asked her about any information she might have about Laos and where he may have gone next, who's more probable to know, her or Biting Lash?
Biting Lash is the one that arranged for Laos's transportation and supplies. She does not know anything at all about Count Laos, never met him.
Gotcha.
She was just the most accessible way to get the Biting Lash. And as you all are leaving, like I said, the princess's goodbye was sincere but long. And you like to, it took a little effort to finally get out the door, but as you're leaving, you notice that Kisset and Hakor are no longer in the group. And you can't recall seeing them leave, but, all of a sudden at the end of it, their absence is pretty obvious.
I'll wait till we're at least out of earshot here. And once it seems we're a safe distance from anyone who might be overhearing us, I'll say, by the way, I think we should actually go tonight. I don't think any of us really got too banged up earlier with the guards. And all that talk about spy networks, right, and information made me wonder, Jano might not have had any success penetrating Biting Lash, but what if the reverse wasn't the case? What if Biting Lash has somebody on the inside?
Entirely possible.
And it might not, and I'm not accusing anyone, at the time I had no one in particular in mind. It could have easily been any of the servants or cooks or slaves or anything, right?
Yep.
So, but I don't know if you noticed, but Kizet and Hakor seemed to not be around at the end. Seemed to have gone off. And they were the ones pushing for us to wait until tomorrow.
Yep, they could be running over there to get everybody set up and ready, so...
So unless you two object, I'm thinking maybe we just go now.
Yeah, let's hop on the bus.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
If they get too rough, I can teleport aside of there to regroup, so...
Yeah, I only used like one spell, so I'm pretty good to go.
Okay.
Okay, so assume we go over there. By the way, something we didn't have the chance to do today because of Seth not being here is I assumed we'd be doing things like drinking some of the bark skin extracts, I think especially on Poppy. Are we just like, how do you want to be handling that kind of stuff? Are we just saying that Steph's not here, so we'll just go in with a 3 and none of his abilities? And I think we can manage that.
Or yeah, what Steph said, he's out of town for the next 4 weeks, and it looks like they're going to be working 6 to 7 days, 12 to 14 hours a day. So he said, he'll try to get on in the hotel, but he can't guarantee it. So it's hit or miss on him. I can release his character if you want to play it, or we can say he's just not here.
You two want to do?
I think we might as well march forward. If you're comfortable playing, go for it, but I don't know how he would feel about having his character played. If something goes on or whatever. But since he's so hit and miss, we're going to be waiting around for when he's free again. We could be stuck for like a month.
Well, I assumed that at a minimum we'd move on. The question is, do we move on with just the 3 of us, or do we move on with somebody playing Sith? What are your thoughts, Poppy?
Could somebody play Sith in such fashion as to minimize something going wrong?
I think so.
Like just have him hang in the background and just pass out whatever buffs he can pass out, and otherwise not really participate in combat.
Are we going to do that, or are we going to prove the might of the Rock and Poppy? I kind of half want to just do it on our own now.
Well, I'm fine with that, but of the 4 weeks that we don't have Sith, how many weeks do we have Eidolon?
That is indeed kind of the problem, right?
I'm here this week. Well, obviously right now, and next week.
Next week it's canceled.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 weeks that I'd be done then.
So this week you're here, and next week it was canceled. What about after that, though? Are you out at that point?
Yeah, the next 2 weekends after that, I'd be stuck working. My wonderful weird schedule.
And
I get 2 weekends.
Go on.
Yeah, I get 2 weekends off a month, and 2 I have to work, barring anything unforeseen at the plant.
Okay, so if tonight's the only day we're gonna have a Dolian, I don't know which. Is it something we could reasonably finish tonight, the fortress, or is this gonna take multiple sessions? You think?
Is he muting himself in Discord now?
Oh, sorry, I flipped my mic up. Yes, I was. Yeah, the fortress, it'll at least be a full session, maybe a session and a half.
All right. Well, here's my perspective then. Ideally, would have liked to do it without having to play Sith. But the problem is that, especially from my perspective as buffing people, if I'm giving heroism out to people who are like shifting around and stuff, it gets really frustrating, right? Because it's like I wasted a spell and somebody's not here anymore. So I think the simplest way to get around that is just having Sith there. And then when Sith is back, he can play Sith.
Yeah, that'll work.
Because we're hoping Sith is back like 2 weeks from now, right? Maybe.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Well, including tonight.
No, including next Monday.
So here's part of the problem. Like, I don't know how Sheer feels, and I don't know how you feel, Weird to me, but technically speaking, right? Technically, it could just be Sheer and myself, and I play Sith and Eric and Sheer plays Poppy and Adolian, but I think a large point of the hobby is playing with the group instead of controlling the entire party yourself.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Also, I don't want to be responsible for getting a character that is not my own killed.
I have no problem doing that. The last character I played as a GM, I killed.
But here's my concern, right? So right now, one option is that we say I control Sith for tonight, and then Adolian's here, and great, we have all 4 characters. But then so next week we're off, but for the next several weeks after that, Adolian won't be here, and Sith might not be here either. Hit or miss at this point, right?
Right.
So we may not play those weeks at all anyway. So I mean, when's your next actual weekend you know is off, Adolian? Do you know yet?
Look at my calendar here, but it would be because it's guaranteed. Like my schedule actually never changes. I just on a kind of a rotation though. And let's see, the next weekend I have off was obviously next weekend, but then I'm on nights for the 26th, and I'm on days for the June 2nd, then the 9th.
So if you're on days for June 2nd, does that mean you're here for June 2nd because you're off by nighttime?
I basically work 14-hour days too. So by the time I get home, it'd be like usually about 8 o'clock roughly.
Yeah, there's no game on June 2nd anyway. It's canceled. So
Okay. Yeah, the next Saturdays I have off, the 9th and the 16th.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of June 2nd, the week after, whatever the date is, I've got dental surgery again at the end of this month. I know the 2nd there will not be a game. I'm not sure about the week after that, though.
Okay, so we have tonight. Next week is canceled. The week after that is probably canceled because Adolian won't be there and Sith probably won't be there. The 2nd is definitely canceled. So the first game, we're basically gonna have a month off here, right? 4 weeks off.
Yeah.
So with that, my inclination, unless you 2 object, is to just go for the greater challenge and just have the 3 of us plus the Rock, right?
Yeah.
Go tonight because by the time Sith is actually back, right? Or but basically, the next time we have Adolian is probably going to be the next time we play anyway. And
Possibly, yeah.
And the main reason to bring in Sith in now, right, is that if we're going to be in a situation where we have Sith and Adolian like swapping off while Poppy and I are always here, but that doesn't look like the case. So anyone have any objection to that? Let's just say we go with the 3 of us for now. And if
Yeah,
things
but
aren't
Fine
really-
with me.
Do have the Fortress tonight, and then the next time we'll do the other half of the Fortress. Hopefully everybody will be here. It's like on the 16th of June.
9th of June, maybe, right?
Maybe 9th of June.
Correct.
You know how winter's feeling.
What is it? Buck up or something like that? Toughen up, Wintermute. You can do it.
Plus, don't forget, I'm not going to be here on the 23rd of June.
I'll be working nights on the 23rd anyway.
All right, let's
Okay,
just
so
go-
no game on the 23rd. We have. Okay, let's start with next week. There is no game on the 19th. None on the 19th. The 26th.
It really just depends upon Seth, right? Because if he can make it, I think everyone else can. But
Yeah, well,
we'll probably know more as we get closer, maybe.
Well, the 26th I am working. I know
Yeah,
that.
Adolian's definitely not there.
Yeah,
no deal.
unfortunately.
Okay, then the 26th is no Dulian. And then the.
It's okay though. If Adolian's not here, I can play his character. All I have to do is just snap and point my fingers and say, "Go pack its eyes out and take a nap."
No game on the 2nd. And the 9th is 50-50. And you're back in when, Adulian?
9th and the 16th of June.
9th and the 16th. Okay. Whew. I will update the calendar after the game.
So I found something interesting that I might want to try on my next barbarian character. Now what's the book called? Adventurer's Armory book, the second one, has a weapon called the Butchering Axe, which deals 3d6 damage. And then if you can make it an impact weapon, dealing large damage, it'll deal 4d6.
Yeah, I think next game's going to be a 10-point build. 121 freaking points of damage. Okay.
Okay, so right now I think we said we're fine on spells. Those two, the quote-unquote bodyguard and her assistant, seem to have disappeared. They were pushing for us to go tomorrow, which is what we said they were going to do. There's always they talked about spy networks a lot, so I think we were going to go, since it's still light enough right now. It's only like 6 p.m. or something, right? 5 or 6?
Yes.
So I figure we go now. And then if things truly get rough, we can dimension door or teleport out, right? If it turns out we needed to rest, or... Okay, here's a question, Poppy. How would you do something like a bard or a hunter with a 10-point buy?
Well, I don't know about a hunter because I've never played that, but a bard you might not do. The 10-point buy is a low fantasy setting, so there wouldn't really be any player characters wielding any kind of magical abilities.
Oh, well, that'd be entirely different, because a 10-point by wizard is still nearly as powerful as a 15 or 20-point by wizard. That's the point I was making, is that some classes like wizard basically care about nothing but like int with their main casting stat. So on the flip side, bard needs a bunch of stats, right? So do hunters, but a wizard can do just fine with a 10-point build.
Yeah.
So it would be like a straight up, like a Conan the Barbarian campaign. So they wouldn't be like bards.
You'd be specialized.
Yeah, flat barbarian or fighter and flat wizard or sorcerer.
Yeah, so I could make a human wizard with 8 strength. Really, I could dump that down to 7 strength. Let's be frank here. I could easily do something like, and I could optimize this more, but I could do 8 strength, 9 dex, 14 cons, 18 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and 8 charisma as a level 1 like human wizard or whatever with a 10-point buy, and that's still doing
pretty good.
Just fine. Yeah, it doesn't really.
It's very wizard-like.
Yeah, I can dump a bunch of stats, right? And all it really cares about is int and not having a sucky con. So if we were going to avoid that and do something like actually like not massive magic builds, then that would be more viable. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
And there's always items you can use to buff yourself up too.
A few.
Well, in a low fantasy setting, the items might not exist, or they would only be up to like the +2.
Okay, I gotcha. I didn't realize the low fantasy setting would be like across the board, but it would be on everything. Which is still cool. Very doable.
Fighting dragons would probably suck, though.
It's supposed to suck fighting a dragon.
Just a little bit. Okay, as you're making your way down...
Oh, you can shrink me down, because I don't imagine my shape change would be still up. Well, it lasts a long time, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to hold you there for just a minute. And quite honestly, you all would have taken a short rest while you were eating.
I mean, yeah, more than that. I assume we're several hours in the future. But at a minimum, if you wanted to jump forward, like, you know, a few short rests or something. You want to do another short? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, there we go.
Okay, and let's see. The rock is no longer grappling. Okay.
Strictly speaking, so, I mean, it's been, how many hours would you guess it's been since we entered the tannery?
Since you entered and had dinner, or
No, the tannery, when we started the fight, how many hours has it been since that?
you know, probably 2 to 3.
Okay, because at the 2 hour mark is when my bark skin when my heroism and Indolient's bark skin fades. So if it's been at least 2 hours, then heroism and bark skin would be gone as well. And it's been at least 2 hours, right?
Yep,
Alright, so you should remove your bark skin effect, Indolient.
I got it.
You're probably not wild shaped either right now, are you? Presumably you weren't a tiger during all of dinner.
No, it'd be kind of rude, I would think.
Well, they can't complain about your bad table manners, right?
Well, you know, cats and dogs, they don't get along.
So, Idolian, one thing you can do as a prepared spellcaster is you don't actually have to prepare all of your spells at dawn. You can leave some slots open and then use them later on. One of the reasons I'm asking about this is, what level 2 spells do you have active right now? Like, what level 2 spells do you have on your character?
Barkskin, Bull Strength, and Glide.
Okay, well, it would be really helpful, and unless one of you objects. So if you want like a bull strength, like, or 2 for yourself and your pet, you know, fine, great. But as many bark skins as you can get would also be really good, because all of us could use the bark skin. And we normally get it from Steph, but he ain't here, so.
Okay, you know, that's fine. How do I get rid of the spells again?
You go to preparation mode. Though,
There we go.
that said, if you care about more of some of those level 2 spells, you could always burn level 3 slots for it as well, or higher. I don't know what spells you have in like level 3 and 4, but you can always use a higher level spell slot for a lower level spell.
Even if I got something prepared in that slot already, or do I have to have a blank space?
You'd have to have a blank space, but what I'm saying is that unless you have a particular reason, and maybe you would claim, if you think your character would, by all means, you know, fine. But a lot of prepared spellcasters, like wizards, will say, you know, I'll prepare half of my spell slots in the morning, and then whenever I think, whatever spells I think I need based upon how the day's going, you know, I'll take 15 minutes to go prepare them or something.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have to do them all at the start. It just means that you need to take like a 15-30 minute rest or break to finish preparing your spells.
Yeah, because so many spells are situational and all kind of stuff. So
exactly. So they like to keep some flexibility. They have enough to get by, you know, at the start of the day, you know, and stuff on hand that's immediately needed, and then they try to keep some flexibility. Any objections to this one, Tribute?
No, I'm good.
Are we optimizing too much?
No, I have no problem dropping Glide. And
Yeah,
even
so
Bull Strength
basically,
isn't all that useful with Poppy around anyway, so.
what do you mean?
Well, she is our Bull Strength.
It's still really good on the rock at a minimum, and to you when you're trying to melee stuff. So, I mean, if you can, I would still try to do something like keep 2 bull strength available for you and the rock. And then if you can squeeze in 2 bull strength and 4 bark skins somehow in some combination, that would be amazing.
Yep, that's doable. That's no problem. And then my level 3 slots, like, I don't really use Burrow. That was just something convenient to dig my way through something. Burst and Elders I've only used once. Neutralize Poison maybe isn't all that helpful either, but I'm not too sure. So many situational spells, right?
Mm-hmm. So in the future, right? And I realize this is hard to do because it's been like 3 weeks since we last played, right? Last 2 sessions were canceled.
Yeah.
And it's tough time to remember over such long gaps, but that's something you can try to do like in preparation mode, figure out what I really want to have available, no matter what, and then how many slots can I leave open to swap in something if it's situationally demanded.
Yeah.
But right now we're still just walking through the town to get over to Biting Lash's area, right?
Yes, you are walking through the town. And can I get everyone to make a perception check?
1 second. Heightened awareness is also on.
I see buildings.
You know what? I'm gonna say that as soon as we left the hyena's place, that I would have recast heightened awareness on the trip over. That's a level 1 spell slot I have a bunch, so I am gonna refresh the duration on that with another one. How long of a travel is it from Nijana's palace to Biting Lash's fortress?
You're having to. This is Whisper.
I'm hoping it's not more than like an hour or 2 at most, because otherwise it'd be going in darkness, which is what we're trying to avoid, right?
No, it'd probably take you a half hour hustling.
Okay, yeah. So if I knew it's half an hour, I'd definitely cast heightened awareness at a minimum, just to have the knowledge and perception available. But I probably would not have cast heroism. Okay, so perception. I'm
Okay.
assuming we're going with Vidolian's actual first roll, right?
Yeah, I screwed up. I didn't mean to roll the second time. Supposed to be for the rock.
Aha.
Okay. And ahead of you, poking around the corner, you all notice Hakor is looking down the street. And, he looks determined and like he is fixing to attack.
Bastard.
Yeah, it would be a really good time to roll initiative.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and Eric, you're up, sir.
Okay, so now I have an important question for you, Intermute, on how you want to rule this working, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so if you arrive in a place that's already occupied by a solid body, you and each creature traveling with you take 1d6 and are shot into a random open space. But if I'm not actually... Okay, here's what I'm trying to do. Can you lock the map?
Sure can.
Okay, I'm trying to teleport to there using Dimension Door. While doing so, I'm going to grab Poppy with me, who will wind up there, Idolian with me, who will wind up there, and in theory the rock would turn up there, except the rock can't be there because the core is there. So the question is then, what happens? The rock is the only one who's going into an occupied square, so Would the rock get like pushed over to there? Can I not take the rock along? How would that work?
Quite honestly, I would say the rock would push a core out of the square.
Okay, so if the rock is trying to appear there, where would Hakur be shoved to?
Let's say down there.
That's
Path of
actually
least
worse
resistance
off.
kind of thing.
That's actually a problem because I'm trying to keep Poppy in reach of him. So.
That's what you get for trying to cheat.
Cheat, of course. Okay, seeing the layout there. Now, am I correct in reading that this is an occupied square, right?
Yes. No.
No.
Uh,
Which squares
yeah,
are?
that would be the overhang of the roof.
Are
So
Is it,
the rock would fit under there.
I haven't read the description for Dimension Door in a while, but wouldn't the rock be too big to bring along with the rest of us?
I
Buy
can
that.
bring along one additional willing or smaller creature or its equivalent per 3 caster levels. So I can bring along 4 people total, in addition to myself. A large creature counts as 2 medium creatures. So effectively what I'm doing is I'm transporting two medium creatures, you and Adolian, plus 1 large creature to get my total of 4. That I
Well,
can
actually,
bring.
technically, I'm small.
I don't think that actually helps. I don't think being smaller than medium helps. It's just being larger than medium takes more. But that's the thing. So it says like if I arrive in a place that's already occupied by a solid body, right? But in this case, I'm not arriving in a place by a solid body. Poppy isn't, and Julius, and only the rock would be appearing someplace where somebody is. So I'm not sure how that
You can bring
gets
along
handled.
objects as long as their weight doesn't exceed your maximum load. You may also bring one additional willing medium or smaller creature, or its
Mhm.
equivalent. Oh, or its equivalent. Okay.
The rock can also just fly there too.
Yeah, but can it though? Here's the thing: a rock has the rocks are like okay. Let's put it this way: a rock, which is a normal rock, is a gargantuan animal,
Yeah.
which means it takes up 20 feet of space, and it has an 80-foot wingspan. Now your rock is smaller, right? It's not a full-grown rock or whatever. So instead of taking up 20 feet, only takes up 10 feet. So I would assume, therefore, that instead of having an 80-foot wingspan, it instead has a 40-foot wingspan, right? Half the wingspan for half the space.
Yep.
He doesn't have 40 feet to spread his wings here to fly down the alley.
Well, he'd fly over the houses and drop down to wherever I am, right? Which in this area here,
I mean, if
Can
Winchmere
bring
is
it, but-
willing to allow that, rocks generally don't have very good fly skill. They're kind of more clumsy, but
oh,
it's up
okay.
to Winchmere how he wants to, adjudicate that.
We give him a 50-50 chance.
That'll be fun. He might wipe out.
Because really, he should be able to at least get up, and there's plenty of room for him to land.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start then by starting my Inspire Courage, which is also going to affect probably everyone here, realistically speaking, for Discordant Voice when it actually matters. That's a move action. Then I'm going to cast Dimension Door. I'll leave the rock to fend for himself then for right now and to guard that exit, perhaps. So Poppy, Adolian, and I appear right next to Hakor here.
Okay.
And you want the rock just to kind of hang out there then? Guard?
I mean, I think we were saying that he could try to do a flying maneuver. Because the problem is if I bring him down, Wintermute was saying that would like shift Hakor down into the left in theory, right? If the rock would get teleported there, that's what you're saying, Wintermute? You'd say Hakor
Yeah.
gets kicked to the bottom left? So at that point he's not inside of Poppy's reach innately, so that's not as an ideal, right?
Well, that's fine. But I could just stay up there and guard, or I could try and fly down below, but
I mean, we can see what happens. Do we see anyone new once we teleport down here?
No, you do not.
Okay. I'll cheerfully say hello, Hakor.
Alright, so that didn't count against my actions for the round, right?
Correct. You have a full round action available right now. You can full attack him. You don't have haste, though. Are you going to be attacking him lethally or non-lethally?
Do we want to attack him non-lethally?
Might be nice to try to interrogate and figure out what the hell is going on here and what we should expect.
Well, then give me non-lethal.
And also, do I have it set up here? One second. Yeah. Is he a divination school wizard, Wintermute? You said he's a sorcerer, right? Okay, so that's a moot point, okay. So that means he is considered flat-footed. Means he loses his dex. Some other stuff, okay. So, Poppy, I also gave you him being flat-footed.
Okay.
But we could have power attacked the wizard, but oh well.
Hey man, I'm already rolling at -4.
And you also have like plus like 3 for me as well, and he's flat-footed. Oh well. How is Hakor feeling? Getting clubbed twice, basically.
Yeah, he's pretty pissed. And let's see. Um, he is going to. And yes, he is going to cast defensively.
Poppy, did you say you had the disruptive feat?
Yeah, I believe I do.
So he gets a -4 to his concentration check.
Okay, so we're at a -4. And then it's 15 plus double the spell level.
Presumably, I can make a spellcraft check to figure out what he's trying to cast.
15. And
So unless he's casting a level like 18 spell, I can tell what he's casting.
yes, he did make his concentration check, and you can tell that he is casting Scorching Ray.
What? Okay.
Poppy.
He can try.
Yes, he can. Yeah, the dimension door was a good effect. I did not see that coming.
Me and my mighty scimitar. Maybe.
So hang on a second. Okay.
Why did it roll 3 times?
You've tried a critical hit.
Oh. Oh, the 19. Gotcha.
Nice.
Now, technically speaking, it says you're flanking, but you said that Wintermute could 5-foot step to there, right? You said that's the overhang of the building?
Yes.
Okay, so can we assume Adolian had the sense to 5-foot step to there to actually get the flanking bonus that is on his character sheet?
Yes.
Alright.
I thought it
So
would have been blocked there. Okay, cool.
you crit and you hit. So the first one will do the crit.
And we did discuss knocking him out, so non-lethal. I didn't.
Well,
Take that,
at this point, Poppy's already smacked him, right? So, non-lethally, so it's okay for you to go lethal right now.
Okay. And I get one more, don't I?
Yeah, you get an actual hit. That was your crit, then you get a hit as well.
Yeah.
It's okay, Poppy. I know his crit is less than your hits. Oh, no, you're
Wait.
just rolling the normal damage. You're not attacking again. You
Sorry.
hit
Yeah.
once and you crit once, right? So,
So it is normal damage. Gotcha.
yes.
There we go.
Did you actually apply that to him? Yes, okay, there it is. Damage 13 to a core. Okay.
He'll just hang out in guard still. That's fine. Just in case.
Okay. Let's see. I'm thinking probably a Poppy. Can you make a perception check?
Possibly.
And Poppy, you become aware of Kizit jumping down off the roof. And technically, would that be a 5-foot step?
5-foot step, 10-foot fall.
I'm just gonna say that if you think doing a jump down from the roof and all the landing and coordination that requires an acrobatics check to not take damage is a 5-foot step, then you can be sure we're going to use that against you down the line.
Well, yeah, she made her acrobatics check. Rather well, actually. And yeah, just so it doesn't bite me in the ass, she's going to swing a scimitar at Poppy. And does not connect.
It's like Zets. Didn't expect to find you here. And with such pointed remarks. Let's see. First attack is a 24, which hit.
Ooh.
And Core falls unconscious, so then I 5-foot step to there. Second attack is at Kazetz. Still non-lethal damage. 26 manages to hit Kazetz, that says. So I smack Kazetz for 26 more non-lethal damage. And I spend another round of my Bard Song. You want to try to take a 5-foot step to start working your way around her?
Yes.
Okay, core ain't doing nothing.
I should be able to go there. Oops. Damn it. But
You're not
that's good enough.
flanking.
Poppies. Oh, yeah, I'm not flanking, so how do you take that off anyway?
Oh, I gave it to you. I can take it off, that's how. You
Oh.
can't take it off because I gave you the bonus. I forgot that.
Okay, yeah, not flanking, but I'll give her a snack if I can. And Poppy's gonna work around way to the side anyway. Nope, that didn't work. There we go. And take out that one. Okay, now I got my shit together.
Well,
Kinda
it didn't
not.
matter. Technically, you moved more than 5 feet, so you'd only get one attack anyway.
Oh, sorry.
But
Yeah, I
they
guess if you-
both sucked.
I've been getting bad rolls tonight. Ding. The rock is fine there.
Okay, and she's going to do a full round attack on Eric. And she'll probably never do anything else again.
So what is she wielding right now?
Scimitars.
Scimitars or scimitar?
Scimitar. Sorry.
Okay, so she just has a scimitar in one hand and nothing in her offhand?
Correct.
Man, that's terrible. Why wouldn't she use a shield or something? I'm gonna tell her your armament choice is bad and you should feel bad. And you are feeling bad right now from all this beat down. Now I'll take a 5-foot step up to there. As I illustrate my point.
Out of curiosity, what if she drinks a Cure Wounds potion? What does that do to non-lethal?
It heals it at twice the rate, basically. Assuming it cures an equal amount of lethal and non-lethal damage,
Okay.
as far as I recall. So if she had like 50 lethal and 50 non-lethal damage, then healing for 10 would heal her for 20 in effect, right? Because it removes 10 from each category. But if it's all non-lethal damage, then I think it just heals, 10
Double.
from that specific category. So,
Okay.
So that's a reason to not split your damage types. It makes it harder to out-heal it.
Also, I believe that's an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, they would trigger multiple attacks of opportunity for trying to drink it, but I assumed that wouldn't meant if she was successful at doing it, right?
Yeah, I had no idea what it did to non-lethal.
Right, so 5-foot step. Barring bad dice rolls, I can't imagine I'm gonna need to hit her more than once.
Oh,
Game over, man. Game over.
I think. Okay, good. I didn't just.
The
I
advantage of
did
building
not
up a
kill her.
buffer, yes.
and with a vicious uppercut from a little person.
An uppercut with a hammer, mind you.
Did I say that the next game's going to be a 5-point buy?
I'm pretty sure that's not a thing.
Well, I mean, we're all commoners. It would be commoners, right? Like, your stat array is, what, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, and 8 or something? Good luck.
The farmers go and slay the dragons themselves because the adventurers suck at it.
Farmers, they know the value of hard work. They're up at dawn. They can raise an animal from, being a young creature to slaughtering it for food. They're used to living off the land and dealing with hardships. Don't underestimate farmers, man. Especially not medieval farmers.
And speaking of obscene amounts of damage, I just found something absolutely ridiculous on Reddit.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to read this whole thing, but somebody figured out how to make this battering blast spell
Oh, that
do
gets ridiculous, yeah.
like 5,179 million d6 of damage.
Okay, well, that's more. I'm used to seeing it doing like 500 plus damage. I haven't seen it deal like 20 million damage.
And what spell was that?
battering blast. But it's not something you should worry about banning unless you have someone insane enough to try it. It's a very convoluted process that probably bends a rule or two way too far.
Well, more than likely. It's like, I won D&D. What?
The whole
Okay,
damn
well,
thing.
I'm going to suggest we drag these two to like a back alley or something where we're not being watched by as many prying eyes.
Okay, so you managed to drag him to a back alley.
Okay, and I would suggest that we have Poppy bind them both.
Sure, I can do that.
And now?
Well, before we raise either of them to consciousness, I'll mention that it seems that these two were following us and are not acting on their presumed employer's behalf. What do you two make of the situation?
Well, we still go forward with the mission. Or we can kill him, tie him up, leave him somewhere, and go forward with the mission. Or take him back to the princess there.
How long has it been since we left? Are we how close are we to Biting Lash's area?
You're probably 10 minutes away.
Okay. I'm kind of inclined to, at a minimum, get Kisets back on to consciousness briefly a little bit, and attempt to interrogate her, though I'm not expecting it to really go well. And then after that, we just knock her back out again and leave Hakor and Kisets tied up while we deal with Biting Lash, and then we take them back to Jano. Any objections to this idea?
As long as they're gagged, too.
Alright, well,
Probably
she's
given
gagged
anyway.
while she's conscious. You can't say anything, and she can't talk
Wow.
while she's unconscious. So
I'm thinking more the wizard. And when we leave them long term, make sure that they're can't do much of anything.
Oh yeah, they'll be tied up, gagged, knocked unconscious. So they'll be so unconscious it'll take them like a day or two to wake up. Because you heal at one non-lethal hit point per hour, basically, right? So if they're at like 20 non-lethal damage over their maximum hit points, right? They'll take 20 hours to heal that off and wake up.
Oh, okay.
So
So they should be fairly secure then.
yeah.
Okay, so
Alright.
you're gonna revive her?
Yeah, I'll drag out my wand of cure light wounds, and alright. So there you can see, by the way, how it's healing the non-lethal and lethal, right? And the combat tracker.
9
Yeah.
plus 9 there, yeah.
Man, Poppy, you sure smacked her good. Okay. Had to burn 4 wand charges just to bring her back to the land of the conscious.
It was, yeah, she was at 132 non-lethal.
And so presumably, like, Hakor's unconscious next to her, the rock's towering over her and looking down, and I'm just, standing in front of her, weapon sheathed, arms crossed. Poppy's probably, like, fondling her hammer or something. I don't know what Adolian's doing.
Not looking at the fondling.
Well, to say that she is pissed off is an understatement.
So what have you got against us anyway?
I don't like you.
Well, we gathered that. Any particular reason?
You remind me of someone from long ago that I hate.
Oh, who was that?
Uh, she... Okay, let's do a tie-in to the past. She's staring. When she says that, she kind of looks over at Poppy.
Of course.
And she relates a story about being in this town. I forget where you all encountered the bar at. But, at the time she was under the employ of, she was a mercenary and had been hired out, and one evening was in a bar and got in a fight with a gnome. And
So she hates all gnomes.
it went about as well as it did this time, with her ending up getting knocked the fuck out. But, she did get the satisfaction of knowing that the gnome spent the night in custody. And that gnome was her! And points.
What a surprise.
I'll
Making
just kind
friends
of
wherever you
look
go.
at Poppy and look back and say, okay, that's a fair one.
And, truly we weren't out to kill you all. We just wanted to harass you. And, as much as I dislike biting Lash, we were going to warn him that you all were coming and let him take care of you. But when you all spotted Hakor, I knew I had to act.
And Jenna trusted you.
Quite honestly, Other than
Well,
her informing biting lash, Jano wouldn't care.
If Jan was so eager for us to take out Biting Lash, she's not going to be upset that, you know, her plan was being sabotaged by the person she trusted as a bodyguard.
It's a funny society. She'll be pissed that I talked with Biting Lash, but you know. Truly, the princess doesn't put much stock in your ability to disrupt Biting Lash.
The princess doesn't put much stock in our ability. Is that the idea?
Yes, he has a small, well-trained army.
So she thinks we're basically going on a suicide mission.
might thin out the herd a little bit, but
But that's the impression we're getting.
Um, well, you know, no one says it has to come to combat to begin with.
Well,
You
I'm
know,
just saying,
he might sell out Laos for the right amount of gold.
does Kisets think that?
Um, Cassette thinks that it'll probably come to blows. And, you know, she has seen you fight, both at a distance and up close. And, you know, she would give you 50-50 odds, maybe 60-40 in your favor.
You know, just out of pure curiosity. Let's see the exact specifics on the spell.
And, you know, out of character, her informing Biting Lash that you're coming would put Biting Lash on the defensive and motivated to engage in combat, which, you know, you can't really say the princess will punish her for it because, you know, it ensures that combat will happen. And, you know, you all might get lucky and take out Biting Lash.
Just on a whim, I'm gonna whip out a little toy I purchased for this kind of eventuality. It's not foolproof, but it's better than nothing. It's a wand of detect evil. And I'm going to activate it and, you know, play it out over Hakur and Kizetz for several rounds.
Okay.
That is what would happen. So what do I get out of that?
these two might be trying to play the both sides of the fence too.
Um, you know, I'm gonna make it easy. You are detecting evil. Um, however, you are detecting neutral evil.
Technically, you can't even determine that, but I'll take it.
These two might just want to be in favor with whichever winning side too, right? In favor with Biting Lash.
Kizet's loyalty is to the princess.
Without doubt. Okay.
And, you know, it was payback for Poppy beating her up along with 5 or 6 other guards in a tavern way back when.
So she's saying she was one of the guards back then, or that she just happened to be a bystander in the brawl?
She was a mercenary, and just happened to be one of the guards.
So she was like sent to apprehend Poppy or something and calm the situation down and got beaten up?
No, she was in the bar drinking when her and several of the guards when Poppy got drunk and started this massive brawl fight, bar fight.
So,
Poppy, Poppy, Poppy.
Yeah, the party walked into a tavern and the barkeep's like, "What the hell?" and "Get out of here, you're banned." And
Good times.
yeah, Poppy didn't pay the bill.
Yeah, I think that was the point where I switched my token from the classic splash art for Poppy to this Noxus Poppy.
vampire Poppy. I'll give Poppy kind of a head gesture of, smack her to knock her out again.
I'm just gonna roll damage.
Don't want this to come back and haunt you anymore.
No, I don't want to crit her by accident and kill her.
Don't worry, she got healed like 72 hit points or something. In fact, she may be dangerously close to waking up if she's not unconscious that long. So, just for sureness' sake, I'm gonna poke her myself with the rapier after she falls unconscious. There's another 14 hours that she's guaranteed to be out unless somebody intervenes. Speaking of
Back
which,
alley beat down.
have we been here? Are we noticing any prying eyes that are like watching like other people from Giano or something?
There were people that when they were closing up and so forth, there was some activity on the street when the fight started, but everyone has pretty much went to cover, and yeah, they're not hear no evil, see no evil.
But there is plenty of evil,
Yeah, they're
including both of them. Okay, so with them unconscious, right? So minimum. Here's my thoughts right now. Best case scenario for them, we take all of their shit and warn them to drop it, and we're being generous only because of Poppy's past actions, and they need to let it go and think about trying to find a better path. Also, potential situation, they're both evil people working in a city of slavers, and just kill them. It's not like sitting in the jail or anything means anything here.
But then that pushes us from combat over to murder.
How so?
Oh, we pretty much got them tied up and gagged, and we're just gonna murder them in the streets.
I mean, that's the idea of like the death penalty and executions, right? Like, here's the thing: if they did not surrender to us, if they had surrendered and we accepted the surrender and then we killed them, that would be different. But they were fighting to the last, trying to kill us. We could have easily killed them during the first initial combat, and then this wouldn't even be a discussion, right? Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand, but there's a difference between killing somebody in combat that's gonna go to the bitter end versus cold-blooded back alley crushing. We didn't even do that to the nobody guards at the tannery.
Yeah, but if the nobody guards at the tannery, as far as we know, are not actively involved in the main slave, ranking person as their bodyguards and evil and trying to murder us and get us killed. They were just defending what they perceived to be their workplace, right? That we were breaking into.
Yep. Oh yeah, they were just doing their job.
Yeah. So I mean, the question for me, right, is would the world be a better place without them in it?
You know, well,
Sorry, go on.
will it make this town a better place? Maybe not. Probably not.
I don't think they'll notice the difference.
So does that mean you never do anything to make the world a better place because each one's too small to notice?
Now,
Well,
you know, it would not make the princess happy if you killed
Which
her.
is what I was going to say, yes.
yeah.
On the flip side, I kind of don't give a shit about that, and we were ready to go kill the princess if we had to. I mean, she's the head slaver in the town. Like, she's not someone whose favor I'm particularly interested in keeping her earning.
Well, we can tie him up, gag him, leave him in a house. If we need him as a bargaining chip later, we can always bargain their lives with the princess at a future date. Or even with, well, Biting Lash, like whoever, right? They could be a bargaining chip to some degree.
Possibly. I don't think that's really going to help with Biting Lash, though, because all they would have told Biting Lash, presumably, is like, hey, these people we hate are coming here. I don't think Biting Lash would really care. Jen was the only person who would care. And again, this is the downside of being an evil slave trader noble, right? I don't really give a shit about your opinion of me. In fact, if you don't like me, that's probably a sign I'm doing something right.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
But
but
at a minimum, we...
the princess would be a very powerful enemy and could very easily disrupt you if she found out before you all left town.
Okay, so you're saying Operation Burn the City to the Ground is a go, then?
That's the poppy in you speaking.
This place will be cleansed by Shellen's flames of purity.
And Poppy, when you moved over to knock out keys again, you notice a little folded. It looks like a pamphlet sticking out, one corner sticking out of her armor.
Gee, I wonder what that could be.
Did we search them already?
And as you pull the piece of paper, you find it's this very nice brochure for the Okino chapter of Alcoholics Anonymous.
The last bar room brawl turned her off alcohol.
Yeah, don't get Poppy drunk. Or she'll end up helping to murder a man. Wait, she wasn't drunk. She was just wrong place, wrong time.
You hit somebody so hard, they went into rehab.
Alright, well, for right now, we can leave them. I'm just still a fan of, at a minimum, disarming them as best we can.
Yep.
And she has, let's see, Hikor has daggers. She does have a +2 scimitar.
Well, I think mine's only a +1.
Why don't you just go ahead and make it a +2, and that way I don't have to add it to the party sheet.
Wouldn't we still get a +1 scimitar in the party sheet then?
Yes, you can have a +1 scimitar.
That's 1,000 gold right there, wouldn't you?
So I could just switch the bonus from a +1 to a +2.
Yep.
Alright, so we'll make sure that, of course, gagged if we see any spell components or whatever. We'll grab what we can there. Grab any weapons and rings and belts, whatever that we can from Kizet. So for now, I'd say we don't actually like take their armor off, though. I mean, they're going to be wearing stuff underneath that.
Oh
but
shit! Hold on, just a second. Oh, I love these prepaid modules. Okay, let's actually search the body.
bodies, imagine, right?
Bodies. Kizet has a +2 scimitar, +2 shadow leather, a belt of mighty constitution, a masterwork kukri, and a potion to cure serious wounds. Hakor has a dusty rose ion stone, masterwork dagger, a potion to cure serious, a ring of protection +2, a robe of bones, and a spell component pouch. And I'm going to put all that in the party sheet. I'm going to delete the +2 scimitar though. So you want to steal the armor too?
For now, no, but what do you two think? Because I mean, presumably they're still wearing clothes underneath the armor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they'd have their undergarments. I would hope.
So do you want to take their armor for now as well to make sure they're unable to hinder them more if something did in fact happen?
Not me, no. Enemies have a tendency to come back and haunt you.
Just so you
I'm just saying
know.
that is an argument in favor of killing them.
True.
The shadow leather is worth 7,900 gold pieces.
Yeah, sure. We'll take their armor, and we're not trying to strip them naked or whatever. We're just basically trying to remove their combat ability for right now, as much as possible. And then we'll leave them again in like this place that we'll find a place that we think we can leave their unconscious bodies, for the next 2 hours as we deal with Biting Lash, and then we can figure out their fates then, whether we're trying to, if we have any need to try to keep Geno happy, or if we just make the world a better place, one less evil bodyguard at a time.
Not a problem. So, does anyone want anything in the combat tracker? If not, I'm going to sell it and clear it out.
+2 shadow leather. I don't think any of us are really going to actually use that. Belt of Mighty Constitution. What does Sith have a belt of anything right now? Edolian, do you have a belt of anything right now? Because I know Poppy has strength and con, and I know I have.
I do not have any belts.
Sith does not. He's got a headband. No belts.
Okay, well, at a minimum, I would suggest Edolian take the belt then of Constitution, so somebody's using it, and we can swap it between him and Sith if needed, right?
So how does that work? Because it says treat this as a temporary ability bonus of the first 24 hours the belt is worn.
Yeah, so just
So I put it on, I get the buff.
It basically means you can't take a feat that requires more Constitution than you have, except when wearing the belt for 24 hours. In practice, it doesn't really matter very much for the most part. So just take the belt, put it in your inventory, and increase the Constitution on your character sheet from like 16 to 18 or whatever, or 14 to 16, whatever it is.
Okay. There we go.
And then Poppy, I think you should take the Ion Stone Dusty Rose, because it's 1 insight bonus to AC.
Ooh, cool.
So I added to my base stat, or
Yeah, on the main sheet, change the score up by 2.
14 to 16. Okay.
Yeah. And then increase your hit points from 111 to 123. And
And
Poppy,
done.
you know how to set up you can do it as an effect within Insight, or just add it to the combat tab, whichever you'd prefer.
If I do it to the combat tab, would that just be under miscellaneous?
Yeah, it'd be miscellaneous and Insight affects everything. To armor, flat-footed, touch, and CMD.
I seem to already have +1 for flat-footed and touch for some reason.
What else? What other stuff do you have on your character sheet? Because it could be like the armor of the society trait, or I don't know. You know your character better than we do. Oh, there is a party inventory though. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't see you having a different ion stone.
Yeah, I got a pearl, don't I, or something? Oops.
You have a pearl of power, which pearl of power you can use to cast more barkskins, by the way. Cast a barkskin, use the pearl of power to get that slot spell back, and then cast it again, or bull strength.
Okay, I'll try to remember that. Maybe you're saying it, but I really haven't had a need to do it yet.
And this robe of bones is a necromantic thing where it actually creates undead, right? I'd be aware of that.
Yes, you would be.
So having an halfling necromancer trying to summon undead is probably not a good thing either in the world. Okay, Poppy, you have a ring of protection +3. Steph, Eric, and Idolian have ring of protection +2, so we don't need another ring of protection +2 here. We said the only slots the rock has was amulet and armor, I think. Is that correct?
That's all I got, yeah, but I don't know what the limits are. Fine with that, though.
I mean, it's up to the GM on how he wants to do it. I think that's what they allow in Pathfinder Society, though you can take feats to, your animal companion can take feats to be able to use additional items, potentially. I don't know how he wants to play it, but...
Yeah. I'll allow it.
So unless you want to try to give the ring to your rock eventually, if you want him to take the feat to be able to use a ring on his talon or something, technically wouldn't be a bad idea if that's what one wants to allow. So I would maybe say drag the ring of protection into the rock's inventory for right now, and then we can think about that. Whether you want to do it, Poppy, you want to grab the 2 potions of cure serious wounds?
Sure, give me a second. Yeah, I have no idea why I had +1 to flat-footed and touch.
I mean, if you want afterwards, I can try to take a look at it and figure out what it might be, but right now it's kind of seems kind of move on for now, unless somebody objects.
Fine with me.
Okay, so right now we're leaving him tied up and unconscious in an unobtrusive place for us to collect later on. And then we're heading to go see Biting Lash, who apparently is supposedly unwarned right now.
Correct. And, guys, do you care if we stop here?
Okay,
Oh, that's fine.
Poppy,
Fine
Yeah.
with
do
me.
you want me to take a look at your character sheet real fast and figure out if we can see what the one mysterious 1AC is?
Sure.
Release her character, Wintermute.
Yeah, sure will. And Poppy. Done.
Alright. Guess you have it affecting everything. You don't have dodge or anything, you would put that underneath dodge anyway. It's not any of your feats. It's not any of your class abilities, because Armor Expert doesn't do an armor training, just increases the max dex you can apply. Toggling the Dusty Rose isn't changing anything else.